Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice because today we will be doing another episode of Incredible Independence. This episode will be of Dark Honor. It's only been one issue so far, but it's pretty cool. So Dark Honor is from Image Comics. It's written by K.S. Bruce and Brian Dekbolis and art by Ethan Sachs. Oh, adapted by Brian Sachs and art by Fico Osio. Okay, from what I understand, they had written this as a script, but they decided to go into a comic. All right. This book is set in March of 2020 in New York, right at the very beginning of the COVID pandemic. I know you're thinking, no, it's not a book about COVID. COVID is part of the story. It's kind of, I guess, so far only, kind of like in the background type of thing. But, you have the first couple pages, first couple panels, big, wonderful shot of the city at night, and, you see a radio broadcaster, TV out of it. They aren't showing who, talking about what's going on and everything, and it zooms in to a little bar, this little, small bar. It's empty, because everything is shut down. And then it goes into the back room, and there's a game going on, and it is a mob-run game. And you have, it's closed, guys talking and all that. But then someone pops the door open, and it is obviously someone who is coming into the game that's not supposed to be there. His name is Grigor. And he is saying he is here to take over. He was looking for the owner of the game. And he's like, I'm here. There's something here that's as dangerous as COVID. That's me. I'm here to take over this game. I'm here to take over. And he's just like, we're protected by the 100. Now, later we find out that the 100 is a group that protects the 5 families that run New York. There's, I guess, 5 different crime families of New York. And the 100, they're the ones that protect it. It doesn't really specify, how it protects it, but they're kind of like the ruling thing, overarching. And he's just like, tough, and he just kind of shoots. So there's a battle that ensues, and his people are the only ones left. All right? Now, so what then we switch over to members of the 100. I guess they're leaders of the 100. The 100 is, thing, and then the leader, And they're discussing what they should do, because you find out this Grigor is the son of one of their best people. And he's going rogue. He's wanting to take over. They're wondering how to take over it, how to, deal with it, because he has no honor, and he's trying to deal with, they're trying to figure out how to take care of him, because he's trying to take over. And then you you switch over to, they mention somebody and then they switch over to prison, and you have where you see Rain, R-A-I-N. And I guess she is the daughter of one of the chief people. She's in prison because of gambling addiction. I guess she had gotten some stuff, winds up getting into some fights there, and she's released early because if you remember back in the day, in New York back then, people who had completed most of the sentence or a certain part of the sentence and had behaved well, and it's a lower lying sentence, or some of them were even big, they were getting let go early. So she gets let out and goes right back to the place and sees her people, talk to her family, and so you figure out that she's probably going to be the one they talk to about dealing with the situation. Because in prison, you see that she is this real kind of a badass, right? And this is her on the front. So this is one really well written, and the art. Okay, let me show you this. Like here, this is what I'm talking about incredible shot of the city. The little narration there, and there's the bar in the back room, and this is Gregor, the dude. We have a kind of a quick back and forth. The guy with the glasses there is the guy running it, and he, boom, and so you get the whole fight. It's that very well drawn, and all that stuff. Then you get to Homova Joseph, leader of the 100. Okay, which I'm assuming is the guy with the mustache right there, and recounting what happened and trying to figure out, say who this guy is, and yada yada yada, what they're gonna do. And Joseph is Rain's father. And of course, this is in the introduction to any characters who's supposed to be badass. You have to have a scene showing what type of a badass they are. You get released, and she goes right back to the bar to visit her family. Okay, now that's it. And so this is very well written. You get the information you need. There's not a lot of too much exposition. Because I've seen some stories where you have incredible amounts, the overuse of expositions, like as you know, just to get you kind of an information dump. That's not on here, and it's not too little. You get just as much as you need to set the situation up. Okay, so you have the five bosses. You have this group that protects it, and then you have this guy who's trying to take him over. Boom, and then we're trying to figure it out. Boom, boom. So you have just enough information that you need to set up the story and go. So, and then as far as that, then you also have the art. If you've watched my channel before, I am kind of a stickler for art. There's certain art that you can have this weird art because as an artistic choice for the story, or whatever. But if I figure you could bad art, as someone calls it. What who was that? What was that they were saying is you know, art that you have someone who'd be selling on not Tinder, but any one of these little sites. Just amateur art can ruin the story, ruin the situation. I don't like that. But then this art right here is just, I think, top notch, and it does a wonderful job to it looks fantastic. It conveys what you need to convey, and it's visually appealing. So overall, you have a great story. It comes in, the story grabs your interest real quick. The art is appealing. The the ease in which you read it, it goes quick. You combine the three of them, and it just comes together for a great read, a fun story, and you want more about the time you're done, and you want to know what's coming next. And this is going to be a 4-part story, and at least 4. I think 4 or 5 parts. And I cannot wait for number 2. I cannot recommend this. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 and say, get it. Anyway, let me know what you think if you read it. Like, subscribe, possibly share, and most of all, enjoy your independent comics.